vibe, cause we good over here. This joy can't be destroyed, I'm immune to despair. Now I'm setting my intentions, I learned from all my lessons. Took a minute to get the message, but it's finally clear. You've been hating all day and hating all night, worrying and whining, both waste your life. But if you take your time and focus on what's...
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video on Today This Raw Detroit. Make sure you hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and hit the word all so that you'll receive every notification that comes from this channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to talk about Brad Holmes, and we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions in the offseason and ways that this team could get better, because we know that coming into this season, the Lions got one of the toughest schedules in all of the NFL. And you have to be able to make the corrections in the offseason to get this team to be right where it should be at, and that's contending to be a Super Bowl contender. We're not asking for the Lions to go out and go 15-2 back-to-back or any of those things. Now, if the Lions happen to win a third straight divisional title, hey, man, that's fine and dandy. We love that. But right now, man, the biggest thing that Detroit Lions fans have on their mind is being able to get to a Super Bowl. But we see, in order to get to a Super Bowl, you got to have a complete roster. We know that this season, a lot of guys were banged up, whether they were starters or if they were rotational guys that got time out on the field. These guys were banged up. And we don't want to look at it as an excuse or anything like that, but we just want to be able to patch up some old wounds, and we don't want to continue to use the old Band-Aids over old situations going forward. At the end of the day, Brad Holmes has been phenomenal with drafting overall with Detroit, and I would not take none of that away from him. But the one position that Brad has been neglecting for the past 3 seasons has been the pass rush position. This is a season where you can't continue to put Band-Aids over old wounds. You have to really, really put a cast on this thing and allow this thing to really heal. And Brad Holmes' job is to go out there and find another elite pass rusher that will make a tandem with Aiden Hutchinson when Aiden comes back. We know that the defense got banged up. We know that Aleem McNeil, he's going to be out for a while. And the schedule is going to be tough this season. This is going to be the Lions' toughest schedule this season. We're playing a lot of playoff opponents this year. So we have to be ready, and we got to be able to get after the quarterback. We already see how it looks to have the #1 offense in the NFL. Yes, we had the #1 offense. Yes, we were able to do whatever we wanted to do offensively. But at the same time, if you can't stop anybody, it doesn't mean anything. And just like in the playoffs, the defense just couldn't come up with the plays. I'm not going to blame the whole game on the defense, but we just did not make the stops in the games that we should have made. Yes, there was turnovers that, Jared Goff had in the game, and Jared Goff, threw a few picks or whatever. And we had the pick from J-Mo throwing one pick as well. But at the same time, I mean, come on, man. You know that the defense was not able to stop Jaden Daniels. They did pretty much whatever they wanted to do on the field. And that can't be so this year. Going out and bringing a talent in like Myles Garrett means everything to the Detroit Lions. Going in and getting a guy like Maxx Crosby means everything to the Detroit Lions. Going out and getting another player like a Trey Hendrickson means everything to the Detroit Lions. It is Brad Holmes' duty and job to go out there and to get the most prolific pass rusher that he can get, because this is the weakness on the team. And now with Aleem McNeil out and Broderick Martin not really stepping up yet and not really being the type of player that Broderick Martin should be right now in his 3rd season, we're possibly going to have to go out and draft a defensive tackle, and you got to make sure that you draft an edge as well. But it's Brad Holmes' job to get on that phone and to make a call to the Raiders, to make a call to Cleveland, to make a call to whatever team he has to make a call to get an elite pass rusher. At this point, man, who cares about the picks right now, man? You got, your first pick is 28th overall. So pretty much, you're almost close to the 2nd round anyway. So let's go and do what we're supposed to do, Brad Holmes. Let's go out there and get Aiden Hutchinson to help, because this team definitely needs a guy that can get after the quarterback alongside of Aiden Hutchinson. I've been saying this for years, that the Detroit Lions have to build the defense around Aiden Hutchinson. This is a no-brainer. You have to go out and get this man a tandem. You don't want him to be the only guy that can get to the quarterback on the team. So Brad is going to really have to put on his thinking cap, and he's really going to have to sift through these defensive ends and D tackles or whatever to get some help on the defensive side of the ball. And we're talking about the defense being able to walk away with some athletic guys that can get to the quarterback that we can groom. You know, no matter if we walk away with a Jack Sawyer or whoever we walk away with, we know that we got to walk away with knowing that we need the help. Now, if we decide to make a trade and we have to send that pick away for Myles Garrett, it is what it is, man. You're trying to get better on the defensive side of the ball, Detroit Lions. That's what we aim to do. We aim to get better on that side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball. Yes, the offense could get better. Yes, we can always get better on the offense. You don't want to stay complacent on the offensive side of the ball, but you also want to be able to have a great defense coming into this season. We don't know what this season is going to look like under two new coordinators that we have on our team. Calvin Shepard being now the defensive coordinator for the Lions, and then John Morton coming in from the Broncos running the offense for the Lions now. We don't know what it's going to look like. We know what it looked like with Ben Johnson here. We had one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL. But now it's time to bolster that defense and get that defense right and build this team the way it should be built. I remember Dominic Sue saying something about how this team should be built. And he said that it should be built around Aiden Hutchinson. You have to build this team around Aiden Hutchinson and around what he's able to do. Yes, we already know that Aiden can play inside and outside. He's been doing that for us. And Aiden was on his way to having a monster season for the Detroit Lions. But now it's Brad Holmes' job to go out there and solidify getting another pass rusher. We need another dog alongside of Aiden Hutchinson. Now, this draft is very deep when it comes to getting pass rushers. There's a lot of big guys that the Lions like. There's a lot of guys that don't know how to set the edge. You know the type of player that the Lions like. They love the guy that can set the edge, and they love bigger guys. They like guys 6'4" and up, and they got some pounds on their body. Maybe you might be 260, 270, somewhere in there, 280. They like the bigger guys. And nothing is wrong with that, man. But I'm telling you now, Detroit, this team has to be built around Aiden Hutchinson. It's gone on too long for Brad Holmes not to walk away with a good pass rusher. This is the area where Brad has been missing. We've been talking about how good Brad has been in the draft, and rightfully so. He has been good with a majority of the players he has picked, and he has missed on a few guys. You're not going to get every pick right, and I understand that, and I know that. But at the end of the day, you want to walk away with a guy that you can say, man, this guy's going to get after the quarterback just like Hutch is. I'm really confident about this pick. So if we walk away with taking somebody at 28, I'm cool with that. If we walk away with Myles Garrett, I'm cool with that. And even if we bring in a guy like Khalil Mack, we know that Khalil's a little bit older, but even if we had him on the team, I'm satisfied with that. But as long as we're drafting an edge rusher, I thought that last year we were going to take an edge rusher. I didn't know that he was going to double up and get two corners because we were attacking the secondary like crazy in free agency. So I didn't think that we would go out to another corner and grab two corners. Now, you know, a lot of our corners got banged up, but at the same time, I didn't think that was going to be on Brad Holmes' agenda. I was thinking like, man, this is going to be the year that Brad really goes out and completes this team and gets the pass rusher that he needs. It was a young guy that I thought that could have fit well with the Lions, Adisa Isaac from Penn State. A lot of people wanted the other kid too as well from Penn State. It was a plethora of guys that they could have went after they could have groomed and allowed that player to play alongside Aiden Hutchinson. And now you can no longer hide where the sores are at on the body. We know where the sores are at. The league knows where the source is at. You can't get to the quarterback. Jaden Daniels did whatever he wanted to do against us. Josh Allen, he did whatever he wanted to do against us. We got to have a terrifying defense, man. If we want to win the Super Bowl, the only way the Lions are going to get to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl, and that's going to be defensively. So I'm telling you now, and I'm saying it in this video now, that Brad Holmes has to go out and do the homework and go get a pass rusher. Go out there, Brad, and get a guy that you can groom. If you're going the cheap route and you don't want to go with the route of grabbing Myles Garrett and you don't want to give up all the picks, then go out there and get somebody that's athletic. Somebody that can put pressure and get to the quarterback. I'm not saying that the guy has to have 17 or 18 sacks or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this guy has to be a relentless guy, has a high motor, great football IQ, athletic, because that's what you need. You kind of need speed up front as well. You need speed to power. That's what you want. Speed to power. So hopefully the Lions will go out and Brad Holmes will do his job in getting a pass rushing guy that's athletic, a guy that can set the edge and stop the run. That's what type of guy the Detroit Lions need. They need a young guy that they can groom that's going to set the edge and a guy that's going to be havoc on Sundays. That's what we need in Detroit, man. So, Brad, man, we're counting on you. It's time to get the homework done. It's time to be able to get that pass rushing guy that we passed up on several times in the draft. No longer and no more excuses, Brad. We got to get it done. This is the missing link on the Detroit Lions. Definitely, guys, subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. And this is Raw Detroit, and I'll be back to you soon with another video.